How's it, guys? Continuing with our Modern Horizons the 3 packs. Let's see what we can get here. Alright, Thraben Charm. 1 on a white, instant, choose 1. Thraben Charm deals damage equal to twice the number of creatures you control to target creature. Destroy target enchantment. Exile any number of target players' graveyards. I love this meta spell. I love charms. You know, Thraben, Innistrad vibes. Pretty cool. I enjoy the fact that this can do any number of target players' graveyard. Obviously, they're thinking of Commander there. That is very useful when you're playing against people who are using Mull or Dredge or, you know, all that other nonsense. And I would say the one that you're probably going to use the most there would be that Exile Graveyard one in Commander, and probably the top one in Limited or other 1v1 formats. You know, being able to just deal damage with twice the number of creatures is super useful. You know, Boros equipment or token humans, etc. You might have 3 or 4 tokens out. Someone plays a Sheoldred, that thing's gone. Inventor's Axe is 1 red. Artifact equipment, flash. When Inventor's Axe enters the battlefield, you get 2 energy. When Inventor's Axe enters the battlefield, attach it to target creature you control. Equip creature gets 2/0, and you can pay energy to equip it. So this is another one of these energy dump cards. You know, you play it, you get the 2 energy, you spend it on something that's worth spending the energy on, and for the turn, something gets a +2 or buff. So, you know, Mono Red Goblins, you attack into someone's 2/3 with your 1/1, they block, you play this, good game. Okay, Tempest Harvester, 1 and a blue, creature Merfolk Wizard. When Tempest Harvester enters the battlefield, you get 2 energy. Tap, pay an energy, draw a card, and discard a card. So another one of these great, is it rummage or loot? I believe it's looting. So this is a loot. Rummage is when you discard first and then draw. But yeah, 2/1 for 2, Merfolk, if you want to put it in a Merfolk deck, not bad. Again, the energy, another one of these energy dumps. Alright, Drossclaw, 1 and a black, artifact equipment. Living Weapon. When this equipment enters the battlefield, you create a 0/0 Black Phyrexian Germ creature token, then attach it to this, or attach this to that. Equip creature gets +1/+1. Whenever a equipped creature attacks, each opponent loses 1 life. So this is one of those slow drain, you know, abilities. The fact that it's giving you a Living Weapon, it's not bad. I mean, it's a 1/1. I don't know. I think there could be better cards than this in the common slot, honestly. I think one of the good uses for this is just the fact that it makes a token, and it can be reused later on when that token dies. Giving something 1/1 for 2 mana, not great, but, you know. Gift of the Viper, a green instant. Put a +1/+1 counter, a reach counter, and a death touch counter on target creature, untap it. This is a bomb, in my opinion. Cards like this just do well in Limited, 1v1, Constructed, Commander, all sorts of formats. You know, it's great when you swing in with a creature and someone, you know, comes with a clapback and they don't realize you've got this banger sitting in your hand. Faithful Watchdog, green and white. Creature Dog, 0/0. Vigilance, Faithful Watchdog enters the battlefield with 3 +1/+1 counters on it. So 2 mana 3/3 is already amazing. Vigilance on top of that, fantastic. And the fact that it's in Selesnya, which means you've got lots of +1/+1 counter shenanigans, is amazing. This with like a Hardened Scales, for example, it's 2 mana for a 4/4. That is crazy. And it's a dog, so it can goes in Ren and Suri. You know, like, yeah, this is a brilliant card. And another one of these cycling lands. Sack it for a mountain. You guys know the deal. Grixis cycling. Amped Raptor. 1 and a red. Creature Dinosaur. 2/1. First strike. When Amped Raptor enters the battlefield, you get 2 energy. Then, if you cast it from your hand, exile cards from the top of your library until you exile a non-land card. You may cast that card by paying an amount of energy equal to its mana cost rather than paying its mana cost. So this is what you want to see with those energy dumps I was talking about, guys. This basically reads in an energy deck, cast Amped Raptor for 2 mana, play a card for free off the top of your library. Cascade into anything. Fantastic. Pyretic Rebirth, 2 and Rakdos, so 2 black and red. Instant. Return target artifact or creature card from your graveyard to hand. Pyretic Rebirth deals damage equal to that card's mana value to up to 1 target creature or planeswalker. Wow, that is a great card. Not only are you able to get something back from the graveyard, which is fantastic in Limited, but you also get to deal damage to a creature that, you know, could be the opponent's bomb or just something that's giving you real trouble. And the fact that it's instant means you can do it right after they've declared that attacker as a blocker, or you've blocked it with something. You know, you chuck a goblin into it or something, and then boom, this bad boy. Consigned to memory. Fantastic pull here, guys. 1 blue, instant, replicate for 1, so any color mana. When you cast a spell, copy it. For each time you pay its replicate cost, you may choose new targets for the copies. Counter target, triggered ability, or colorless spell. I love Stifle effects, and I feel like we don't have enough of them. There are so many creatures these days that have triggered abilities, activated abilities, annoying abilities, and they don't attack or block with them. You can't get rid of this creature because it's just sitting there. They give it Shroud, they give it Indestructible, they give it Hexproof, and then they just pump that ability out. So this is a great card to get rid of those annoying abilities. Planar Genesis for Simic, green and blue. Instant. Look at the top 4 cards of your library. You may put a land card from among them onto the battlefield tapped. If you don't put a card from among them onto the If you don't, put a card from among them into your hand. Put the rest on the bottom in random order. So, not bad. I mean, a bit of land ramp. Never hurt anybody. Oh, hell yeah. Look at that pull, guys. Ruby Medallion. 2 colorless mana artifact. Red spells you cast card 1 less to cast. Who doesn't like discounts on their casting costs? Hey, a nice little cute doggy. Felia, Exuberant Shepherd. 1 and a white. Legendary creature dog, 2/2. Flash. When Felia attacks, exile up to 1 other target non-land permanent. At the beginning of the next end step, return that card to the battlefield under its owner's control. If it entered under your control, put a +1 on Felia. So, I mean, the fact that this is continual bounce, continual flicker is really, really good. It's a dog, so again, Rennet Siri or any other dog decks you guys might think of. The fact that this has flash, I feel like there's no reason for that to be on here. I mean, the trigger only happens when he attacks, so, whatever. The thing I do like about this, though, is the fact that we don't often see repeatable flicker effects like this. And, I mean, the fact that it's in white means Azorius flickers, there's so many kind of combos I can go off with this. Those ETB triggers, even the small stuff you have. There's like soldiers that ETB and make an extra soldier token or extra cat tokens on certain cards, etc., etc. This is a great pool. And now for our foil. Twisted Riddle Keeper for 8. Wow, that's expensive, but let's see what it does. Creature, Eldrazi Sphinx. Emerge for 5 colorless and blue. You may cast a spell by sacrificing a creature and paying the emerge cost, rather reduced by that creature's mana value. I wonder if that includes the colorless mana and the blue.
Nope.
I would assume it does. So you can sack something that's like a 6 CMC and pay a blue to get this guy out. Not bad. When you cast a spell, tap up to 2 target permanents, put a stun counter on each of them. Typical Eldrazi, blue, Dimir, Azorius, blue shenanigans, basically. And it's got flying. So yes, a flying 5/5. Not something you want to be seeing in your draft against you. And our token is the Phyrexian Germ. Hey, that goes to the living weapon we got. Where was that living weapon? There we go. Pretty cool stuff.